to Shai Tubali, who is a philosopher, author, and transformational leader known for blending Eastern and Western philosophies with an academic focus, exploring the intersection of artificial intelligence and the philosophy of religion. I'm sure you can kind of give us the specifics of what that is about in a little bit. You have been focusing some on, or a lot on, the Indian philosopher Jidda Krishnamurti, and how he reflected on artificial intelligence, even though he passed away in 1986. Asked the critical question, if the machine can take over everything a man can do and do it better, then what is a human being? And which challenges us to reflect on the nature of human thought and identity in an increasingly mechanized world. I hope that framing works. Shai, as we hand over the floor to you, please take it away.
Thank you, Martin, and thank you, Joseph, for an absolutely fascinating and touching presentation. So yes, my presentation is going to be of a very different nature, a philosophical one. So it's going to be quite a shift. So yes, I'm going to talk briefly about Jidda Krishnamurti's thought on human identity and meaning in the age of AI. So in the 1980s, as Martin just mentioned, when AI was in its infancy, Jidda Krishnamurti, spiritual teacher or an Indian spiritual teacher, or perhaps a mystic or philosopher, is rather uncategorizable, who spent decades exploring the human mind, became unexpectedly preoccupied with artificial intelligence. It was a chance encounter with computer scientists that sparked this interest. Yet it made sense for someone whose life's work revolved around the mind's conditioning and mechanistic nature. AI for Krishnamurti wasn't just a technology, it was a profound challenge to the very core of human identity. He saw it as an opportunity to ask, if machines can replicate aspects of our mind, then what is left that is truly human, indistinguishable? Now, Krishnamurti's prophecies about AI were startlingly apocalyptic. He warned that within decades, machines would outperform humans in nearly all mechanical tasks. AI would diagnose illnesses, compose music, and even generate philosophies and religions. While some of his predictions haven't come to pass, as we all know, the rise of AI, especially recent developments like large language models capable of writing essays, poems, and even coding, suggests that his concerns weren't entirely misplaced. Krishnamurti foresaw a future in which AI would force humanity into a crisis of meaning, leaving us with just two choices: either become passive consumers of pleasure or awaken to a deeper, non-mechanical aspect of ourselves. Now, what makes Krishnamurti's approach unique is his insistence that AI is not an other to be feared, but rather a mirror reflecting the conditioned and mechanical nature of the human mind. And this distinction is crucial because many thinkers debate whether AI can achieve human-like consciousness or emotional intelligence, but Krishnamurti focused on a different problem, that our own thinking is already disturbingly mechanical. In this sense, we don't need AI to show us this. Our daily routines, habits, and reactions already reveal it when we begin to observe this closely. So whereas philosophers today often ask whether machines can develop human-like consciousness, Krishnamurti's concern wasn't with the potential of AI, but with the limitations of human thought itself. He saw human intelligence in its current form as trapped in a cycle of memory, experience, knowledge, and repetition, just like a machine learning algorithm. And it doesn't matter whether it's weak or strong AI. I will reach this distinction soon after. The real danger, according to Krishnamurti, is that we have become like machines ourselves. AI only makes this clearer. So Krishnamurti's critique remains relevant regardless of whether AI achieves strong consciousness and human-like consciousness, because even weak AI, machines capable of executing tasks based on data and learning, poses a philosophical challenge. These machines, Krishnamurti argued, are extension of the mechanical nature of human thought. They expose the degree to which our thinking is not original or creative, but repetitive and conditioned. Now, the critical question Krishnamurti posed to his audiences still resonates today. If machines can do everything we can do, and even better, what does it mean to be human? This isn't just a question about technology, but about identity, meaning, and our place in a world increasingly dominated by intelligent systems. It forces us to consider whether there is anything about the human mind that cannot be replicated, cannot be simulated by machines. And as we face a growing crisis of meaning in an AI-governed civilization, this question becomes more urgent. I believe it is very urgent. So again, one of Krishnamurti's boldest claims was that human thinking is itself computational, not in the sense of computational functionalism, that this is what the human mind consists of, that the human mind is computer-like, but in a more profound way. He saw thought as an endless loop of experience, memory, knowledge, and reaction, a process which he considered was devoid of true intelligence. In this view, AI doesn't threaten to surpass human thought because human thought is already mechanical. In a sense, we've become poor imitations of the machines we've created. This is a Krishnamurti quote. So AI is not separate from us. It is a continuation of the mind's mechanistic tendencies. Now, there's an interesting anecdote to illustrate this. Philosopher Sven Nylund experimented with AI, and this provides a stark illustration of Krishnamurti's concerns about the mechanical nature of human thought. What Nylund did was he asked ChatGPT and advanced AI, as we all know, to generate an essay on what Martin Heidegger might think about the ethics of AI. The result was not only a coherent essay, but that one that Nylund admitted was better than what many of his students could produce, and even possibly better than what he could have written under pressure. And this anecdote took place many, many months ago. This example highlights Krishnamurti's warning. Much of what we consider human thought, analysis, argumentation, creativity, can be replicated by machines. The fact that AI can produce a persuasive essay on a philosophical topic shows how much of human intellectual activity is based on stored knowledge, memory, and patterns, all of which are programmable and thus replicable. Now, Krishnamurti offered a radical solution to this dilemma, the realization that true intelligence cannot be the product of thought, memory, or knowledge. He argued that there are non-mechanical, inimitable aspects of the human mind: intuitive perception, creativity, direct insight that are currently dormant. These are qualities that AI can never replicate, not because machines are incapable, but because these capacities lie beyond the reach of thought itself. Only thought is replicable. Krishnamurti's most provocative idea, I think, was that consciousness is not merely an inherent human quality, but a potential that most of us have yet to realize. The real question, Krishnamurti suggested, is not whether machines will become conscious, but whether humans will ever fully awaken to their own consciousness. This is where the ethical shift occurs, the need to recognize and cultivate the non-mechanical aspects of the mind before it's too late. So Krishnamurti laid out a path to this awakening, beginning, of course, with the recognition, the humbling recognition that the mind is currently trapped in a mechanical state. So the first step is awareness, becoming conscious of how our thinking is conditioned. The second is non-reaction, understanding that any attempt to control or change thought is still part of the same mechanical process. The third is perception or insight, which emerges from a non-reactive awareness and leads to a deeper non-mechanical form of intelligence. And finally, most importantly, the fourth stage is the cultivation of a genuinely intelligent mind that transcends both natural and artificial intelligences, which are basically made of the same cloth. Such a mind is not rooted in memory or the accumulation of past knowledge. It uses knowledge only when necessary, while remaining free from its conditioning. This mind unburdens itself of all past recording and storing, allowing for spontaneous, fresh perception each day, as if the mind were newly discovering itself. So ultimately, just the last sentence, Krishnamurti challenges us to consider, can we allow our minds to transcend the very limitations that both we and our machines have imposed, and in doing so, reclaim what it truly means to be human?